Yo, what is going on, Guardians? J-Man here, and today I'm answering a question that many of y'all have asked me recently. I've received countless comments on my content asking, what is that hand cannon you've been using this season? And the answer, folks, is the new 120 RPM Pure Poetry. The Pure Poetry is this season's Vanguard ritual weapon, meaning it drops from strike set to any difficulty. When my first one dropped, I really wanted to try it out since we're in a pulse and scout-driven meta. So I figured a 120 with some extra range might be a good archetype to compete against more passive players. And after dabbling with Pure Poetry and PvP, I kinda haven't taken it off and put about 2,000 defeats on it. I really believe it's an exceptional option for this meta, and in this video, I'd like to break down Pure Poetry's stats and perks, compare it to other competing options, and sell why I think it's worth snagging some rolls. Starting with the base stats, Pure Poetry has a decent spread. It doesn't have the most range, but its archetype makes up for that. Stability, handling, and reload speed are all not bad, and it actually has decent airborne effectiveness starting at 15. Now in terms of competing 120s, let's just get Igneous Hammer out of the way. Igneous is on a playing field all on its own. It dominates every single 120 RPM in every single stat category. But obviously, it is in the energy slot. So I will say, hell yeah, it's a better hand cannon than Pure Poetry, but it's not directly competing with it because it's in a different slot. If I want to use Duality or Beloved or Main Ingredient, Igneous Hammer goes out the door. So let's instead focus on comparing Pure Poetry to the Steady Hand and True Prophecy. In terms of base stats, there's really no clear winner between the three. In some cases, one might have more handling than another, but less than the third option, and so on and so forth. So naturally, the tiebreaker comes down to perk options, and really this is where Pure Poetry wins. Not only does Pure Poetry have the ability to roll with a barrel like Small Bore or Fluted, a magazine like High Caliber or Ricochet rounds, but most importantly, it can roll with the perk Perpetual Motion. The increased stability, handling, and reload speed combined with a strong barrel and magazine is picture perfect for a 120. In the final column, you have all the PvP options: Opening Shot, Eye of the Storm, and Elemental Capacitor just in time for Arc 3.0. There's even new interesting options like Pug List to recharge strong melee abilities like the Warlock Lightning Surge. And the icing on the cake here are the origin traits. Vanguard's Vindication gives that small bump of health on weapon kills, which can definitely come in clutch. And Pure Poetry is built by the Hake Weapon Foundry, meaning it does extra damage against Titan barricades. I've never really liked Steady Hand or True Prophecy. They feel clunky, slow, and have awkward recoil. Igneous Hammer never really had those problems because its stat line is out of this world. And now, Pure Poetry really feels like a great option in the kinetic slot. Perpetual Motion has this thing feeling snappy, stable, and predictable. I can play at high mobility while competing against longer range weapons, and 120's body shot damage is so forgiving it makes for some insane team shooting. I also really love the Hake origin trait because it's just so good against Titans, helping melt down those pesky barricades. Guardians, it is 100% worth grinding for a solid Pure Poetry. If you're having trouble getting the hang of this slow-paced, pulse meta, this is another option for you to get comfortable with. I'll definitely be keeping an eye out for drops while grinding Grandmasters this season. If you happen to enjoy the video, feel free to help me out with a like and sub to the channel, and as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the Cosmodrome.